Hey, welcome to the Cognizant Crone and Happy Chinese New Year. So 2025 is the year of the wood snake, for those of you who don't know. So I wanted to talk about energy and cleaning up energy within your home, in your space. And the first day of the Chinese New Year, so the Lunar New Year, is today, the 29th of January of 2025. And so I wanted to talk a little bit about cleaning up energy. And I've kind of touched on this kind of stuff, like cleaning up your personal energy and whatnot. I talk about energy all the time. But for those of you who don't know, so a couple things. I am a certified Feng Shui consultant. So I practice the Chinese compass method. So we take measurements and calculations and stuff. And for those of you who don't know what Feng Shui is, I describe it as Reiki for your house. And if you don't know what Reiki is, Reiki is basically, these are like high level descriptions, okay? So Reiki is working with the energy of your body, so your physical body and your subtle body, and just cleaning up anything that needs to be cleaned up. So Feng Shui is doing the same thing, but within your home. And it can be in your business too, but we'll talk about the home for the purposes of this video. So I was thinking about it being like the first day of the Chinese New Year. And when that happens, when you use the compass method, every year you take stock of what's going on in your house and you make updates and changes and stuff like that. And again, I'm getting high level. I'm not getting into Feng Shui in this video. I'll do a video on Feng Shui if you want. I can do that. But the interesting thing about where I'm going with this video is that I'm going to give you my top 5 tips as a Feng Shui consultant for anybody. And these tips have nothing to do with Feng Shui. This is just stuff you should do in your house all the time. And number 5 will probably surprise you because it's very different, okay? But before I get into that, I do want to talk about cleaning up energy. So, like I said, today's first day of Chinese New Year, so I got to go through my own house. I didn't do it today because I was kind of worn down. I did take some stuff. I started working on some stuff yesterday, but I have to sort of revisit some things and just do a couple things over the next few days so that I've aligned myself and set myself up for good energy in 2025. Probably do that over the next couple of days. And I was thinking about it, like how important it is to ensure that the energy, not just on your personal self, but the energy around you is good. And this is a big thing in Feng Shui. This is what we do with it. So I was thinking about what I need to do in my own home, right? To make those preparations. And it also got me really thinking about how I maintain or any lack of maintenance that I'd been doing the previous year. Because you know what? Life happens, I'm not perfect when it comes to stuff like that. Even though it's stuff that I do, like as a professional, it doesn't matter because I'm still human, right? And I'm not one to go like super deep into like nitpicking about stuff. To me, it's surface level, maybe a little bit deeper than that, but it's stuff that should be easy to maintain, stuff that doesn't cost you money and doesn't stress you out, right? This is what I focus on. So let's talk about cleaning out the energy within your house and how to get the best optimal flow without using a Feng Shui consultant, without reading a Feng Shui book, without reading a Feng Shui blog. None of this you don't need to know anything about Feng Shui in order to be able to do these 5 things. So let's get started. So tip number 1, and I think I have a video on this. It's on another channel. I don't know if I'm going to be able to link it or not. I'll try. I think it's on my tarot channel. Anyway, if I can link it, I'll link it in the description box below. You can check it out. But I'm just going to kind of quickly go over them. So the first thing you should do in order to optimize the energy flow in your house, clear the clutter. I know nobody wants to hear it. Nobody wants to hear that. I get it, because that means cleaning your shit up. If you've got crap everywhere, if you've got stuff piled up, and I know sometimes it's not an easy thing to do, and I know sometimes it's not an easy thing to maintain, even once you do it, especially if you have like kids and pets, and like if your house is chaotic or whatever. There are some tips and tricks in the other video that I've included to kind of help with that, but get everyone on board and make it a game, because then it's fun, right? Have a contest, whatever. But the point is that you really need to get rid of any clutter so that the energy flow in your home is good. And I know a lot of people might say, well, it's an organized mess. Okay, I get it, because I've had organized messes too. I even have a few around the house right now. Full disclosure, I do. Well, I'm also in like redecorating phase too, so I got shit everywhere in my house. Anyway, point is, if you've got stuff that's been sitting around for a long time where you're not intending to do something with it, then work through it, give it a home, clean it up, whatever. Okay, the first one is clear the clutter. Blanket statement, but very impactful in order to get that energy flow. Okay, second, which goes hand in hand with this, is clean your house. Dirt is not your friend. Okay, dirt is not your friend. So wash your windows, dust your baseboards, like throw anything out of your fridge and cupboards, and what's the word I'm looking for? Not declutter, but like even go through your closets, get the dust bunnies out from under the bed, all of that stuff. Your house needs to be clean, right? So of course you can't clean your house until you declutter. Once you declutter, then you can get into the corners and the nooks and crannies to give your home a proper cleaning, right? And like, think about spring cleaning, right? Like, I know here in North America, that's a normal thing. Like, once winter's over, you know, your house tends to be shut up and locked in and everything. And, you know, you're not maybe opening the doors as much and the windows and stuff like that. So spring cleaning is a big thing, in that you open up the windows and doors and you do all kinds of like deep kind of cleaning. Spring cleaning is a big one, but I do it in the fall or winter as well. Like kind of Christmas time, like towards the end of the year, right? I'll try and do a deep winter clean. But giving your house a good deep cleaning is a great idea, especially if it's maybe not in the best shape right now, and then try to keep it. So that's number 2. So we have clear the clutter and clean your house, okay? Because we don't want dirt. Dirt is bad. And then I alluded to something that would be a good segue into point number 3, is open your curtains and your doors and windows as much as possible, because you want to let light and fresh air into your house. Both of those things bring in really good, clean energy. And I know if it's wintertime or you're in a cold climate, it's not easy to do. But even if you could do it, like, I don't know, what was it today? I went for a walk today too. It was like, with the wind chill factor, I think it was like -19. And it was fairly windy. I think the wind gusts were like, it's -19 Celsius, by the way. Wind gusts were like around 35 kilometers an hour, which is getting pretty windy. I'm on an island, right? And it's winter, so am I going to want to leave my windows open for like 3 hours? No. But you know what? I could open them for 5 minutes. Maybe just one on the main floor and one in one of the bedrooms or something. 5 minutes just to let some fresh air in, close them up, whatever. Try to do that as much as you can, if possible. However, opening your curtains and letting the light in, that's huge. And it's natural light, it is sunlight, even moonlight. You see what I'm saying? So if it's, oh, well, I have the lights on in the living room and the overhead lights in the kitchen, that is not natural light. Doesn't count. So light and air flowing through the house, amazing things that you can do to enhance the positive energy flow within your house. That's number 3. Okay, number 4. Anything that is broken unused, unloved, you fix it or you get rid of it. Do one of the two, right? So if you have leaky faucets or a leak in the roof or a cracked window, fix that stuff. Fix it. Get it fixed, because what happens is that is not good energy in the house. It could be letting things escape. Leaky pipes and plumbing or clogged plumbing can affect the money flow within the house. So that's always a nice one to take care of. Yeah, you got a clogged drain, clean that up, get it fixed, right? All of that kind of stuff. You have a bunch of stuff sitting in a room that you just don't use anymore, and it's just sitting there collecting dust. That could be part of the clear the clutter as well. But sometimes maybe you're hanging on to something because it was a gift from my mom and I can't insult her by getting rid of it. Then you need to learn to love it. Because if you're hanging on to stuff in your house that you do not love, it is hard to honor those items. And that's something you need to do. Honor what is in your house, and then that will enhance the energy flow. If you're hanging on to stuff that you don't like, bad energy, bad chi, no bueno. So fix it or get rid of it. And then the last one, number 5, which is my favorite. This is one I came up with because a lot of feng shui consultants will tell you to do those first 4 things. But this one I never hear, not as a top 5 tip kind of thing from a non-feng shui perspective. But number 5 is thank your home. Thank your home. Say thank you to your home and do it often. Do this a lot. Do this as much as you can every day when you come in. I thank my house all the time. I tell my house how much I love it. I tell it how pretty it is. I tell it how wonderful it is. I do it often because you know what? This is really important. So I want you to get on board with this because it really will make a difference. Let's pretend like me. Okay, so I live in a rental. I don't own my house. I rent my little tiny townhouse, and I would love to own my own house, right? I've owned houses before, like when I was married and stuff like that, but not since I've been single again. So I would like to own a house, and timing just hasn't worked out. And I'm like, someday I will own a house. But for now, I appreciate where I live. I like the house I'm in. I like my neighborhood. I happen to be in a northeast home, which happens to align with my personal chart, which means it is the most optimal energy for me. I didn't even plan that. I didn't even plan it. I didn't know about that until after I moved in the house. So that was pretty cool. But anyway, point is that you might be in a house that, it's not yours, it's a rental, or maybe it's not a great house. Maybe you do own your house, but it's a tiny little house and maybe you've outgrown it, or it's just, I don't know, not your dream home or whatever. Well, don't dump on your house, because you know what? Your house does awesome things. Your house does awesome things. It shelters you from the cold and the weather and the snow and the heat sometimes, right? It protects you. It keeps you safe from burglars and stuff like that. Your home does awesome things for you. So you know what? It doesn't hurt every now and then to go, hey, house, you know what? Thank you for all the awesome things you do for me. I really do appreciate it. That's good energy. That's good chi. And it takes 2 seconds, right? And think about it. You can do little things in your house. Maybe it's not the best, or maybe you don't have a ton of money. Do what you can. I've been doing that recently. I don't have a lot of money, but I did a little bit of painting and I fixed up a couple of things, put my money where I thought it would be best used, and not a ton of money. It is a rental, so it's not like I'm taking the paint off the wall with me, right? So I thought, you know what, put a little more into the house, then it makes it yours a little bit more. And if you don't want to do something permanent like that, you can always go to garage sales and thrift stores and look for maybe neat little pieces of furniture, bookcases or chairs or something, or lamps that are neat. Art, right? Stuff to hang on the walls. Just do something different. So honoring your home by thanking it and being grateful for it and showing and expressing that gratitude is huge, and it will get you far. So those are my 5 tips. Yeah, feng shui tips that are not actually feng shui. I'm telling you, You will notice a difference if you do all of those things. And I'm not saying it has to be done overnight either. Like clearing the clutter, that can take time, right? That can take time if you got to do some purging. But what I would say about things like that is make yourself a timeline. It can be flexible, of course. Don't be like, oh my God, I have to finish on this day, and you're freaking out. No, but do your best to work towards it. Opening the curtains, you can do that every day, right? Thanking your home, you can do that every day, right? So this can, be something where you're scheduling some projects, right? That's not a bad thing either. But I find that when I try to adhere to those 5 things as much as possible, even if I didn't feng shui myself, I know I'd feel a lot better for it. So I hope these were helpful. Let me know. And do you do any of these things? Or is this something you have on your own personal schedule? Like once a year, you clear the clutter, or you get rid of stuff, or do your repairs? Do you have some kind of ritual that you go through, right? Let me know in the comments below, and let me know what you think of these 5 tips. And if you want more info, happy to share that too. All right, we're going to leave it there. So there we are, day 29. Happy New Year. Happy Chinese New Year. And I will see you all tomorrow for day 30. Bye.